Sick.
Oh my gosh, it's like green and blue. Whoa.
So our journey picks up in Georgetown. After an amazing couple weeks in the Bahamas, finally getting a taste of what it feels like to be cruising and actually enjoying the boat instead of just trying to fix it, we're about to switch the vibe again. We're ready to test ourselves with a 400-mile journey upwind through the Thorny path. Alright, good afternoon guys. Cool. Bahamas time, it's over. It's unfortunate that we have to leave all these beautiful places, but our time here is done. It's a little expensive, and we have honestly, we've kind of done a pretty massive trip to the Bahamas. We did the Abacos, we did Nassau, we did the Exumas. It's time to move south. Today we are headed to Puerto Bahia in the Dominican Republic. I've cleaned out the whole engine bay, topped up all the fluids. The boat is looking good, everything's clean, but I'm also really, really nervous. This is a long trip for us. It's over 400 miles, it's almost 500 miles, but I think we got it. I'm feeling confident. The weather window is awesome, but we're finally ready to set sail. I'm really hoping to catch a fish today. I think it's gonna be a good one. Let's get into it. So that's a tough moment. So we have a leak on our valve cover where one of the bolts is, it's just, you can see out the side, it's blown, and we're losing oil pretty steadily. I mean, we're literally like 4 miles offshore and we're turning around. Sucks to do like all that preparation, like fuel everything up, clean out the engine bay, lift up the dinghy, unanchor, go through all the cut and the shallow areas. Get like 2 hours into the trip and have to turn around, but it's the right call. You know, we got a long trip and I don't want to go with a really bad oil leak. So I hope it's an easy fix. For all the people who in the comments are going to say, just sail there. It's not so easy. So really upset. I'm pissed. I'm frustrated. But that's what you got to do. You got to be smart sometimes. So we're turning around. Back at the anchorage, I remove the valve cover and make a temporary fix with Permatex. If you haven't used it, it's a high heat resistant gasket maker designed for this exact situation, and it's kind of a lifesaver. I'm keeping 3 or 4 tubes on the boat and recommend everyone gets some. With a thin layer of the red stuff, I snug the cover back on and go to sleep to allow some time for it to cure. Good morning. Just fired it up. I don't know if it's working yet. My girlfriend says the engine looks like a 5-year-old's art project. The new gasket is holding, so it's time to try again. The new problem is that our 4-day weather window has now been cut down by 24 hours, and our chances of making it before the next storm are slim to none. We headed offshore and were able to hoist the sails for a 7-knot line around the northern edge of Long Island, but when we turned the corner, we lost the wind. I'm trying to sail as much as possible this trip, because I'm low on diesel, because I'm low on money, and I have an oil leak on my engine. My alternator's running hot as shit, and so I am frustrated that there's not a lot of wind, but I don't make the weather. It's okay. I'm already thinking about bailout points already, because I don't think that we're gonna get there before the bad weather rolls in off the coast of the Dominican Republic. So I'm thinking about Luperon, looking at islands in Turks and Caicos. I'm looking at Great Anagua. I'm looking at different places where I might be able to stop and anchor and hold for a couple days. But Luperon's looking pretty good. Still hoping I can get all the way to the East Coast to Puerto Bahia, where we're trying to get to this marina, and everything's perfect. And I'm still hoping I catch a fish. But to be honest with you, I don't know. I want to let you know that I'm stressed, and I want to let you know what's going on, not as like a pity party, oh woe is me, but I don't want to over glamorize sailing. And I know that the last couple weeks we've been posting these epic videos like, oh, it's so fun to be in the turquoise water and everything's great. But right now I'm like just kind of like sailing on a prayer. All right, it's 11:30 p.m. It is freaking dark tonight. We are motoring, there's no wind, about to pass the south end of Long Island, and there are ships everywhere. It's spooky, man. Your eyes play tricks on you. You see lights that aren't there, and then all of a sudden they're gone, and then the radar will say there's a boat a mile or two away and you can't even see the lights, and then they're there and then they're not there. It's so dark tonight, there's absolutely no moonlight. I just had to hail a cargo ship that we were on a collision course with to make some adjustments, and it's gonna be a long night dodging boats. They come up on you really quickly, so it's a little sketchy. Don't love the night watches. This is not a fun night watch at all. The next day, the swell went away, but so did the wind. So we motored all day and motor sailed when we could and just tried to let the time go by. I had new oil leaks to tend to and was reminded how hard simple things can be while underway. I just made cupcakes and chicken Alfredo while under sail because there's nobody around and we have our radar so I can check. Out in the middle of nowhere, motor sailing. Okay, I'm doing a pretty good job. Per usual, as the sun went down, the weather picked back up. Good morning, day 3, and we have some developments. We were thinking about what we were gonna do because obviously the weather between Turks and Caicos and the Dominican Republic is shit. And because we have a couple oil leaks, and because it's gonna be 3-meter swells, we ain't going to the Dominican Republic. We've changed our mind. But life ain't too bad because we're going to Turks and Caicos instead. I think a lot of people stop off here for weather because it's such a long journey from Bahamas to the Dominican Republic. I think we're going to be here about 5 days waiting for weather. But right now, we are 25 minutes away. Still haven't caught a fish, and we're coming at high tide. We timed it right. We got good sunlight. The sun's just coming up. I just bossed that night watch, but it was rolly. The wakes was coming off of our port quarter, so we were kind of corkscrewing. It was a meter swell for sure, meter and some. But now it's calmed down for a bit. The wind's calmed down. Perfect timing for us to get in. I think we're gonna drop the hook, stay here for a couple days, wait for weather, but I just refuse to put us in a bad spot. You know, I think we were, I wanted to wait as long as I could to make that decision that we're not going the whole way, but I had my doubts. As soon as we had engine troubles on the first day and had to turn around, I knew that that was gonna jack our weather window, which is probably why I was so upset. But I woke up in a good mood. Well, I woke up, it's not like I went to sleep. Maybe I'm deliriously happy because I'm sleep deprived, but I woke up in a good mood to the morning sunrise, and yeah, I'm feeling good. Turks and Caicos, baby! We entered the cut south of Providenciales and crossed the bank with spirits high. We have obligations to get south, but at this point, I'm just happy to be stopping anywhere. We anchor here, a few miles away from Southside Marina. When we tendered into Southside Marina, a local asked me if I wanted to see something cool. Boy, did I.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's sick.
Oh my gosh, it's like green and whoa.
Oh, look at that.
Dude.
That is so freaking cool.
So he's just gonna like disappear under that thing.
Oh, it's next time to catch it.
I think so. Something like that. It's crazy how quick it happens.
Still changing?
Yeah.
He's still changing. As he goes across the bottom,
Yeah, he's like moving, yeah.
So that's cool.
So he's going down. Now he's like dappled.
They don't get that big in Turks here. That's the biggest I've seen.
All right, so we're at Southside Marina. We've been sitting here for a couple hours. We're waiting on the customs officer right now. got all of our paperwork, and they have Cuba Libres for sale while we sit here and wait for the customs officer. So he's gonna show up and we're gonna be hammered. No, just kidding. I've only had one, but.
I'm kind of.
Are you really?
A little bit.
We should get you another one.
Yeah, we should.
All right, I'm gonna get my girlfriend drunk. I'll see you guys later. We just checked into customs. It was so easy. Everyone was so nice. We saw an octopus. We were supposed to get 7 days until you have to get a cruising permit and pay for it if you're here for weather or boat repairs or whatever. The customs officer gave us 15 days on our stamp, 60 bucks. It'd be another 60 to check out. So 120 bucks. We get to stay 2 weeks in Turks and Caicos. It's epic. We saw a lot of reviews on Navionics saying that the lady at Southside Marina was rude, or that the customs officer was rude. And they were all saying, oh, the wait time for the customs and immigration is like 3-4 hours. You gotta sit there and wait. We got there. We were super nice and friendly to them. It was a great experience. If you're checking into Southside Marina in Turks and Caicos, just go, have some drinks, prepare yourself to sit there for 3-4 hours.
And don't complain.
And don't complain, and everything will go smooth.
Yeah.
Well,
What's that?
this is for getting the oil out. And I don't... And because I put... Oh, that's such a mistake. Oh my God. What a mistake. Okay. So fast forward like a week. Turks and Caicos has sucked. It's nice here, but the weather has sucked. Worst anchorage ever been in. Look at that. And we're so ready to leave and go to the Dominican Republic. You know I'm having this problem with oil coming out of the valve cover. There's a piece that comes out here that's attached to the air filter. So I put a hose on to a clear plastic bottle thinking, oh, the oil will drain out of here. It won't spray all over the engine. I can monitor how much I'm losing until I go fix this valve and can regulate the oil pressure. What I didn't think about is, I guess, expansion. Thusly, it opened up, I guess, this pressure release valve, or this pump that you use to get everything out. And the oil that I just put in came billowing out. So, this is going to be a fun cleanup. Okay, so we got to get underway, but I want to show you guys this. I think I might have fixed it temporarily. Knock on wood. This is such a redneck fix. I have this water bottle with a hole cut in the side, and it clamped on this here. So what my understanding is, the reason for this setup, this tube that comes off the valve cover, I guess like combustion, like exhaust gases come out of here, and then are sucked back through the air intake through that cap that connects the two, so that those gases go back through the engine. It's supposed to be better for the environment. But what I'm doing is I'm bypassing that. I've got rid of the cap. Those gases are coming in here, and any oil that comes out, like I've had problems with oil coming out, it should drain into here and air can still escape. I've just run the engine for like 20 minutes at RPMs, and there's no oil in here. So I'm now thinking that maybe I've temporarily fixed the problem. I still think the PCV valve needs to be replaced. I'm going to do that when we get to the Dominican Republic. Because this has suction, this is, you know, intake, this is sucking air in for the engine, and it was connected to this. I'm thinking that maybe that suction was sucking oil out, and it was then spraying everywhere. So, because now that I have it run here, the engine's running fine and no oil's in there. So we'll see. If I literally have it screwed into the cabinet. I'm gonna run this trip with the engine open, just like this on both sides. And yes, it's gonna be hot and it's gonna be noisy, but we spend all of our time in the cockpit anyways. And this way I can kind of immediately see if there's problems or leaks. And I can get to the top of the engine and add oil if we start losing any. I can add coolant when we go sailing. If the engine needs it, without having to undo the whole living room. A gallon jug of water and a leftover foot-long piece of hose I had up forward, it might be fixed.
Let's go sailing.
Finally, we were back on course. We had a nice sail across the bank and made a straight shot for Luperon. It's about 150 miles away. It was really cool to see the watercolor change as we hit the drop-off and went from 20 feet deep straight to a few thousand. The first day was uncomfortable with winds above 20 knots and about a meter of swell. But that night was miserable with too much wind for me to have the sails out and swell increasing to 2 meters. The morning of arrival brought a stunning sunrise and even rainbow. But I missed it because I was so exhausted from the night before. The trip was made worth it when I finally caught a fish. This is my first barracuda, so I'm excited, but they're notorious for giving ciguatera poisoning, so we returned them to the ocean. We had another full day beating across the Thorny path. It was a humbling experience, but we held in there and so did Charlie. In the late afternoon, we saw something on the horizon. That's right, we had finally made it to the Dominican Republic, and I swear, I could smell the empanadas from here. Join us next time as we explore Luperon, make friends, tear the boat apart, and get a little wet. Please hit subscribe if you'd like to follow our journey, and of course, thank you for watching, and thank you to the generous patrons for supporting this channel and our travels. Bye.